Everybody okay?
Okay. Almost. Stand by. 10 seconds till air, everybody. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Thank you for tuning in. Tonight, Meanwhile Back at the Studio presents Happy 1979 Mrs. Hudson, a play which transcends time to resolve a relationship. In the suburbs of Boston, the home of Dr. and Mrs. Hudson rests in a blanket of Christmas snow. Awakened by an early morning snowplow, Mrs. Hudson rises, takes a deep breath, and hurries out to greet the last day of 1992 and the morning paper. Shaking her head at the news, she starts back toward the warmth of the house. Stopping, she turns toward the mailbox at the end of the driveway. Last night's snow has been brushed away and the flag is down.
The mail? This early? Oh, it's cold.
Mrs. Hudson, shivering with cold, hesitates, then runs through the snow toward the mailbox, avoiding drifts of snow and nearly slipping on the iced-over driveway.
Uh-oh.
Reaching up, she pulls out a handful of bills and belated Christmas cards.
Oh, dear. I hope I didn't spend any money this month.
She shuffles through the letters as she returns to the house. Greetings from Fort Lauderdale Beach, a postcard reads. Cautiously, she turns the card over.
Having a blast. Weather's great. See you on New Year's. Love, Pamela.
The mail tumbles to the snow. Mrs. Hudson staggers inside. A disbelieving Dr. Hudson follows his wife back out to the spot in the snow.
Barbara, I don't see a postcard.
It's right here. It says, greetings from Fort Lauderdale Beach. I saw it.
Oh, don't put yourself through this again.
Mrs. Hudson pushes Greg aside, frantically searching, then digging through the snow.
It's here. I saw it.
Honey, please, maybe you think...
I don't think. I know. It's here, in her handwriting.
She stands and rushes toward the mailbox.
Empty. Damn. Damn.
Sweetheart, it's cold. Let's go inside and you can rest.
She breaks away from him and enters the house. Dr. Hudson follows, closes the door behind them.
You know, with a 3.5, you deserve to have a good time. Just don't have too good a time.
Greg, let me have
Yeah,
the phone.
you know, I have a funny feeling your mother wants to talk to you.
Hi, honey. How was your flight?
Oh, Mom, you know how I hate to fly. Which reminds me, I land at 8:30 New Year's Eve, just in time for our usual celebration. Is Daddy still working this year?
Oh, you know your father. The hospital calls, he jumps. Anyway, we'll spend it together and carry on our tradition. I ordered Cornish game hens.
Great. I haven't had a home-cooked meal in ages.
Is Mary having a good time? Oh, I hope you brought something for her parents.
Mom, listen. I didn't want to tell you this because I didn't know how you'd react, but I didn't come here with Mary. I came here with Kevin.
What do you mean you're with Kevin? Who's Kevin?
He's in pre-med with me. I told you, we met at freshman orientation.
Are his parents with you?
I'm 19. We don't need a chaperone.
Ha!
I can make my own decisions.
Obviously not, if those are the decisions you make. I thought I raised my daughter to
Mom,
be...
listen, I can't talk now. We'll talk about this when I get home. I'll send you a postcard.
Don't bother. Pamela, thank goodness you're so late. Oh, officer.
Mrs. Barbara Hudson.
Yes?
Good evening, ma'am. I'm Lieutenant Sinclair. Is Dr. Hudson at home?
No. He works on New Year's. Is there something wrong?
Was your daughter on Flight 117 out of Fort Lauderdale?
Yes.
I'm sorry to tell you this, ma'am, but there was an accident. It's believed the plane malfunctioned over the Florida Everglades. There were no survivors.
Mrs. Hudson awakens from her dream.
I told her not to send it.
What is it?
I told her not to send it. She was trying to make up and said she would send a postcard. I remember now. I should have told her I loved her. I was just disappointed.
She knew. She knew?
No, she didn't. Oh, Greg, I would have forgiven her. Now she's gone and I can't ever tell her how I feel.
She's resting now, Dave. You know, I thought she was improving until now.
Barbara will have to solve this on her own. We've done everything we can for her.
Over 10 years, and this is the worst I've seen her. Now she's seeing postcards of all things.
She's always spent New Year's with her daughter, and that was the day she lost her. As her doctor and your friend, my advice is to let her get over this one on her own. It's all we can do for her now.
Barbara, are you sure it's okay if I work tonight?
You don't have to coddle me anymore. They need you. You've worked every New Year since we married. Why should today be any different?
I just really worry about you.
Go on, Greg. You'll be late for work.
I don't think the hospital would mind if something important keeps me home.
You'll be late for work. Here, I made you a snack.
When I get home, we can finish where we left off.
At 4 a.m., I'll be asleep.
As Dr. Hudson drives off, Mrs. Hudson stands in the doorway. Dr. Hudson drives past the mailbox, which remains open and is now covered in snow. As the garage door begins to descend, Mrs. Hudson notices the mailbox closed and the snow cleared off. Mrs. Hudson scurries through the snow, opens the mailbox. Greetings from Fort Lauderdale. She flips the postcard over.
Still looking forward to New Year's, Pamela.
Mrs. Hudson returns to the house and enters her bedroom. A picture of Pamela and her mother at Pamela's graduation rests upon the vanity. Mrs. Hudson takes her hair from its bun and cuts it to the length in the picture.
Tony? Tony? Oh, you can't be closed. You just can't. Oh, thank goodness you're here.
Mrs. Hudson, it's so nice to see you. How have you been? Come in.
Just fine, Tony. Closing early?
Well, it's our new hours. It's been a while since we've seen you here.
Oh, I see. You're changing everything on me for not coming in for a few weeks?
A few weeks? No, I...
Now, don't tell me you haven't saved those game hands for me and Pamela.
Pamela? No, I'm sorry.
Tony, what am I going to do with you? Well, that's okay. I need enough for 3 now anyway.
Barbara, Happy New Year!
Edna, hello. I was just telling Tony that I have an unexpected guest for dinner tonight.
Oh, really? How nice.
I'll see what I have.
Oh, thank you, Tony. Yes, my daughter's bringing over her new boyfriend from Brown. You know, she made the dean's list this semester.
I didn't know you had another daughter.
Edna, please.
Well, no, just Pamela. You know, it's hard to believe.
dear,
Another year's passed. My daughter's finished her first semester. She's got a new boyfriend, and we're getting a new president. You know, I always feel funny when a new president takes office and I didn't vote for him, don't you?
Well,
I do, but I like his movies.
I don't remember them. I guess I was too young.
Tony, you nasty man. Well, there I go again, jabber-jawing away, and you've got work to do.
No, we've missed it.
Here you are.
Great. How much do I owe you?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Well, just put it on my bill. Happy 1979, everyone.
Happy 1979, Mrs. Hudson.
Transglobal Airlines, this is Trudy. May I help you?
Yes, I'd like to inquire about a flight my daughter is on. It should have arrived over 2 hours ago.
Do you have the flight number, ma'am?
Yes, it's flight 117 out of Fort Lauderdale.
I see no flight listed for that number. Hold on, please. I'll get my supervisor.
Yes, may I help you?
Yes, My daughter is on flight 117. I was wondering if there'd been a delay.
I'm sorry, we haven't used that number for quite some time. Perhaps if you check again.
Oh, I'm positive that's the number. Flight 117, arriving from Fort Lauderdale on New Year's Eve.
What kind of a sick joke is this? Don't you have anything better to do on New Year's Eve? I was on duty the day Flight 117 went down, and I don't think this is funny at all.
Well, thank you. I'll just wait for her arrival then.
Mrs. Hudson hangs up the phone. Headlights flash across the window. She peers out to see her worst fear relived. A police car sits at the end of the driveway. The doorbell rings.
No.
There were no survivors.
No.
Barbara, don't put yourself through this again.
Having a blast. Weather's great.
Pamela,
What kind of a sick joke is this?
See you on New Year's.
No.
I see no flight listed for that number.
Was your daughter on flight 117?
No. No.
Mom? Mom? Are you okay, Mom?
Mrs. Hudson opens the door.
Gee, Mom, I'm sorry I'm late. I couldn't get a cab, but a policeman was nice enough to drive me. Here, let me flash the light so he knows I got here. And I mean,
You had me so worried.
well, I would have moved heaven and earth to get here on time. That flight was awful.
Really bad?
No, it definitely was not hell.
Where's Kevin?
You really didn't give me time to explain. He flew straight back to Brown.
You spend Christmas with this boy, and he doesn't have the decency to fly back here with you and meet me?
Lucky for him, he didn't.
What?
Nothing, Mom. I didn't come all this way to hear this.
Well, you're going to listen. Why didn't you tell me anything about him before?
I did tell you. You just didn't listen. I'm not back for 3 minutes, and already you're fighting with me.
Don't walk away from me.
I don't want to talk with you like this. It's not what I'm here for.
Pamela, I made dinner. Cornish game hens, broccoli, that stuffing you like.
Stovetop stuffing?
Yes.
I'm staying.
Oh, why do we fight like this?
Because we're family. Mom, that was just great. You've outdone yourself. Here, let me clean it.
Well, you've changed.
In more ways than one. You haven't asked me how I like Fort Lauderdale.
I've heard just about enough about Fort Lauderdale for one day, thank you.
Mom, I really think it's important that we clear the air.
Didn't I make myself clear? I don't want to hear about it.
It's not just Fort Lauderdale, it's us.
Oh, what is it now? I'm not a good mother. I never listened to you, so you needed someone. Don't try to blame it on me, Pamela. You are simply too young to spend the night with some guy you hardly know. I never slept with another man besides your father. Oh, what an old-fashioned idea that is.
Times change. People change.
You are my daughter, and you will always be my daughter, and I'll tell you when you make a mistake.
Mom, sometimes you just have to let go. As long as you keep the love.
What, you learned this in psychology class?
Mother, God!
She stops and turns away. A breeze gently caresses her face as her eyes twinkle. She's suddenly refreshed and speaks in a softer tone.
Mother, it's not because of you. It's me. And I am sorry if what I did hurt you. But I didn't mean to do that.
Well, you have hurt me deeply.
I had to do my own thing and make my own mistakes.
And I should just sit back and watch you make a fool out of yourself over the first guy that comes along?
No, you should do just what you've done. And I should just be me. Whatever you do, I'll still be me. Mother, believe me, one day soon, you will understand. Letting someone go doesn't mean you don't love them.
Right now, I don't know how I feel towards you.
I know you don't mean that.
Oh, I don't? Think again.
Just 20 seconds till midnight, and the crowd is going wild here in Times Square.
Funny how New Year's was our holiday. The years seem to fly by. The time comes for everyone to move on. I guess I'll always be here with you.
10 seconds to midnight. 9, 8,
Our time's almost up, Mama.
7, 6,
I love you, Pamela.
2, 1. Happy 1979. The television screen flashes Happy 1979. The crowds cheer. The screen flashes Happy 1993.
Barbara, thank God. I was calling and you didn't answer.
I must have dozed off.
You had me so worried. Tony the butcher called and said you were acting strangely. What's wrong? Are you okay?
Well, my goodness, if you're so worried, why don't you stay home with me on New Year's Eve, where you belong? After all these years, it's about time.
You mean that?
Of course I do. You just tell that hospital it's time. Besides, just because you've moved on doesn't mean you've forgotten them. If they need you, you'll be here with me. Happy New Year, darling.
Happy New Year, Mrs. Hudson.
As they embrace, Dr. Hudson's eyes are drawn to something new on the mantel. A postcard. It reads, "Greetings from Fort Lauderdale." And
I love you too, Pamela.
Mrs. Barbara Hudson, a woman granted a second chance to say, "I love you." Thank you for listening this evening. Meanwhile, back at the studio is an Uncle Victor production. Happy 1979 Mrs. Hudson was written by Victor J. Naraki. Our ensemble players include Alpha Blair as Pamela, Steve Carlisle played Tony and Dave, J. Thomas Cox portrayed Dr. Hudson, Jackie Lockery played Edna and the supervisor. Victor J. Naraki was Trudy the operator and Lieutenant Sinclair. Bobby Norman starred as Mrs. Hudson. Rick Wood was our sound man. And I'm your narrator, Byron Clark. Until next time, Happy New Year.